Welcome back. Well, the eclipse is just days away, and that means people will be traveling to the heartland to view it. So, of course, joining us today is Sergeant Clark Parrott from the Missouri State Highway Patrol to talk a little bit about safety when the eclipse happens. Not even just that, but people traveling and just the safety in general of being in a crowd of a lot of people, because obviously this isn't going to be a situation where it's just a few people standing around looking up at the sky. So, what are your the main things that you want to point out for people enjoying the eclipse and all the festivities?
We'll do it as safe as possible.
Right.
Do not stop on the side of the road, not stop on the side of the shoulder of US 60 or the 55, any of the interstates. There's plenty of parking places, plenty of state parks that have opened their campgrounds, whatever, to come view these. But make sure that we're obeying all traffic laws. We are anticipating a huge influx of people. Hotels all over southeast Missouri have been full for 6 years, waiting for this event. There are people that are just so excited about this, and we understand that. But we want to make sure that people are doing it safe. So don't park on the side of the interstate, and if you're driving, don't try to watch the eclipse while you're driving. When you're doing that. So just be very patient. Is going to be kind of my key word for the next 5 days. Is patient, and just give a little bit of grace, because there's going to be people from all over the world in southeast Missouri, and they don't know our roadways. So there may be a lost driver in front of you trying to figure out how to make a U-turn where they're not supposed to, and it's going to interrupt your commute. So Monday morning, I would anticipate leaving for work a little early, or plan on staying a little late, because our roadways are going to be full. So, we just encourage people to be safe and slow down.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like Chamber of Commerce folks and people supporting the cities are telling people, hang out after the eclipse, because if everyone leaves at once, that's just going to be a congestion nightmare. And I can only imagine, the accidents that could happen if people are, in a rush to get out of there. Just why not enjoy the town that they're in?
Well, and that's a lot of Chamber of Commerce, as you went there, have expanded this from Monday back to tomorrow. I know in Poplar Bluff there's concerts tomorrow night and Saturday night. A lot of communities have concerts planned, fun runs, kids festivals, all car shows, all over. So people are capitalizing on this. So it's going to be a busy weekend. It looks like we're going to have good weather for it. But again, plan accordingly. Don't be afraid to throw a couple of bottles of water, some snacks or something in your car should you get stuck in a traffic delay. So we just encourage people, again, go out and enjoy it, have a wonderful time with it, but do it as safe as possible, and just be mindful of other drivers that don't know our area. Let's all of us be the face of southeast Missouri, put on our best face and make a good impression for those guests that are coming in.
Right, exactly. And the other side of safety that I want to talk about is being in a place where there's going to be a ton of people. How can we stay safe? And obviously, I guess it's just keeping our eyes and ears open. But, what is your advice on that?
Well, if you're in a large group of people, wherever you're, be situationally aware. If you're with a group of friends or whatever, make sure you've got a walking buddy with you. Try not to be so encumbered with your backpack or a purse or things like that you can't move freely. Try to be minimalist while you're doing it, but again, be situationally aware of where you're at, the easiest way to get out of whatever situation you're in, look for an exit, things like that. But again, if we're patient with each other and show a little bit of grace, maybe that'll help tamp down any ill will, but make sure that you've got a walking buddy if you're out at one of these big festivals.
Yeah, and so when it comes to the eclipse, obviously the most important thing that you guys want is people to enjoy the day, to enjoy the weekend, and to just have fun. Will you guys be out, more in full force? Will you guys have more people on patrol that day?
Yes, we will be saturating US 60, Interstate 55 across, Butler, Stoddard, Scott counties. You're going to see a large portion of us out there because that's kind of ground zero for the path of it. But again, we're going to be out making sure people aren't parking on the shoulders of the roadway trying to set up camp on the medians or things like that, because that's a huge traffic issue, because we have to understand that people still have to use those roadways to get to and from work or vacation or commerce with the big trucks. So we're going to be out making sure that everybody is enjoying it the best they can as safely as possible.
Yeah, I think that that's the biggest thing, is just Do it safely.
That's
you don't,
right.
You want to make sure that you see the next day.
Yep, that's right.
That is the most important thing. Well, always thank you so much
you.
for joining us on The Breakfast Show too. We'll be back in just a bit.